Okay, my name's Zakashi guys, and in this video here we are going to be discussing the ultra that we could be getting, if not one, could be two, what we are going to be getting for this new unit reveal, the third part of the 6th anniversary. We have no idea what it's going to be, but there are a lot of predictions, and we're going to be looking at all the pieces of evidence that we've got for this video. Now, considering this is going to be a lot of speculation, I will still give my own opinion at the end of this video. I've done an early prediction, but this is going to be one that's pretty much a day before, or two, depending on when you see this, you guys will know. But just in case I miss anything that might lead to a prediction you might have, be sure to write it down in the comment section below. I know I won't get everything, so I need you guys to also help me with the possible speculation, but with the evidence I do have, I will be putting it in this video for you guys to see, and then you guys can make your own opinion on who you think is going to be the unit that we're going to be getting. The ultra, if not one, it's going to be two. So yeah, there's a lot of hype going up right now. The anniversary's been spectacular so far. The synchro units fusing Gogeta and fusing Vegito, they're absolutely insane. Then we also got the God Goku and the Ultimate Gohan, who also are really good. So we gotta see how they're gonna finish this off. Is it going to be a major bang? Let's get into this video. I wanted to add this segment to say that I will be live streaming the reveals and stuff for the 6th anniversary ultra reveal. It's on Tuesday, 2 p.m. UTC. I will be live. We have to watch it together. So if you didn't plan on watching it, or you just planned on seeing afterwards, definitely pop through for the stream. I will be live at least an hour or two before, so we can vibe out beforehand and go into it with smiles on our faces. This is the finale, so come through, vibe out. But yeah, that's all I got to say for that. All right, so the first thing I want to address is this image that's been floating around from Gaming Next Door, Ultra Super Perfect Self for 6th anniversary. I don't believe it's his image, but it's an image that's been floating around quite a bit. I think this is just a fake image. It's not even I think. This is a fake image. Come on, dog. If we get a Super Perfect Cell, I do not believe we'll get a super... Like, come on, bro. Like, if they drop a Super Perfect Cell for the anniversary, knowing that they've dropped some atrocity cells, bro, and they didn't even drop Golden Frieza for the anniversary as an Ultra, they want to drop Cell. I don't know, man. They'd have to make him transform like 4 times before I think he's even something special for the anniversary. They better not drop a Cell. I just need to address this as the first piece of evidence that we can't have coming out. Like, come on, bro. I just been seeing this image floating around. Had to address it straight away. It's obviously a fake image, but of course, if we get a Cell, I'll be like, yo, he's got to be transforming like 4 times to be something valuable to me. Alright, so let's get into the juicy part of this video. This is probably the first thing that you expected to see, but I just had to address that Cell because I thought it'd be funny. So cool, if we look at the pattern here, the 1st anniversary, we got Legends Limited Super Vegito. The 4th anniversary, 3 years later, we got Ultra Super Vegito. The 2nd anniversary, we got LL Vegito Blue. Then 3 years later, in the 5th anniversary, we got Ultra Vegito Blue. If you're not following, there's a trend already through those 4 different anniversaries. 1st year, 3-year gap. 2nd year, 3-year gap. To the 4th, and then to the 5th. Now let's go to the 3rd year. You guys know in the 3rd year, we got Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. That was our Fusion Warrior. We've literally got Fusion Warriors every single year. If not for the first part, it'll be the last part, but we have got a Fusion Warrior every single year. From the 4th part, I believe MUI was the star, so I'm just gonna... It's a bit different there. But cool. We got G4 here for the 3rd anniversary. In the 6th anniversary, following the trend we just shown, it would make sense for it to be Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. This is probably the best piece of evidence I've seen out of everything that you could possibly point out to be something for the anniversary. I'm very much one of those guys believing in this one. I think this one just makes sense. They've already done it for 2 consecutive years following a pattern with Ultra Super Vegito and Ultra Vegito Blue. Ultra G4 would just make sense. It would just make sense. You know, make your own opinion about this, but obviously, come on guys, you can't avoid this pattern. This pattern's hitting differently. But we're not done. There's another layer for this pattern. So I already expressed how the 1st links to the 4th and the 2nd links to the 5th in regards to the anniversary, and we were just discussing how the 3rd links to the 6th anniversary. But the one thing I didn't speak about is the fact that they dropped 2 Legends Limiteds in the 3rd anniversary. They didn't just drop Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, they dropped Corrupted Zamasu, 2 Legends Limiteds. It was the 1st anniversary where they started with 2 Legends Limiteds. They've never done that before. So it could also make sense that we could get 2 Ultras this year. Now, a lot of people have been saying, where's this 2 Ultra idea coming from? Well, for one, we've got a lot of Ultras in the game already. They've been handing out a lot of Legends Limited Z-Power. So if they were to drop 2 Ultras, it wouldn't be that ridiculous, considering that once they start moving forward, they start dropping a bunch of stuff. So once Legend Limited started becoming like basically normal in the game, because at the start they weren't normal, but once we got like 20 plus, it began to be a thing where, oh, ultras drop now. We got the free to plays, then they drop summonable ones to basically replace the value of Legends Limiteds, because we now get legendary finish characters every month. So it might be that time where they're gonna start dropping multiple ultras at once, where they will be dropping only for the celebrations though. Hopefully they drop ZAMASU as one of them and G4 as one of them. It isn't that ridiculous to think about. Of course, they don't give out enough chrono crystals, in my opinion anyways. They have been giving out a bit more, but if we're really looking at it, they've been dropping how many reruns? They drop like 3 reruns at a time now as well, which also pushes to the fact that they're trying to get all the old ultras out the way, making it so that it's almost normal to have some ultra characters. So if they drop 2 ultras, it's not going to be as ridiculous. And I'm not going to lie, it's not like this hasn't been a thing in the past before. So in cases where they dropped 2 Legends Limiteds, I think for example in the festival where they dropped Blue Bros and they dropped Sword of Hope Trunks, I don't think people were expecting 2 Legends Limiteds at once. It was super overwhelming. But even with it being overwhelming, it became something that was normal, so we accepted it. Everybody right now would be like, what the hell, 2 ultras? I can't handle this. But if they start doing 2 ultras in these celebrations, it'll become a thing that people can handle, then we can expect it, you know? But it's because it's never happened before that people are obviously having the vision of 2 ultras is ridiculous, it's not going to happen, da-di-da-di-da. I'm against 2 ultras in entirety, because ultra banners don't have pity. So you're going to drop 2-pack banners that don't have pity. They're hard to get, harder than Legend Limiteds for most people. You can really summon 100k and leave with nothing. That is absurd. So for that reason, when I say nothing, I mean an ultra, new ultra. For that reason, I think this is just no, like it shouldn't happen, but it's not ridiculous if we look at the pattern. Also, another suggestion that might come up is the fact that they could easily just drop 1 banner, but 2 ultras on the 1 banner. So that's never done before, but it might make the banner more valuable in entirety. But I could see a lot of people like being pissed off about it, because imagine you summon on the ultra banner and you're trying to get G4 and you keep pulling corrupted ZAMASU, you'll be stressed. Or they could do something like, if any of you guys have played Genshin Impact, what they actually do for weapon banners, but they could just apply this to their ultra banners. So what they allow you to do is select who you want to be pulled at that certain point, even though there's a chance to pull both, if that makes sense. So I think if you lean it one way, you have a higher chance of getting that one character, even though they're both on the banner, if that makes sense. Guys that play Genshin will understand, but it basically just means 2 characters that are on the same banner, you have higher rates for 1 character if you select it to be that 1 character. Or they just implement a pity system for ultra banners, which will be the only case that they have, because this is 1 banner with 2 ultras. Come on, man, you can't be keeping it greedy with no pity. Give us the pity on the ultras, man. In addition to the 3rd anniversary counterpart type of idea, where we're gonna be getting, you know, 1st to 4th, 2nd to 5th, 3rd to 6th, the 3-year gap, what I just showed you in the previous evidences, quote unquote. Somebody posted this, Storm724, shout out Storm724 for this, pointing out the fact that the 3rd anniversary had a similar color scheme. So you see in the 3rd anniversary here, pre-3-year anniversary, they had like the burgundy or the Super Saiyan 4 GOGETA hair color basically, with the yellow. That was a good theme going along, and they've now posted the fact that we're going to be getting the 6th anniversary special edition finale for the ultras that we usually get, following the same red Super Saiyan 4 GOGETA hair color, and then instead of the darker theme where they had like the red and the red/orange, and then it's dark, you can see with the black, they've kept the background white. It does stand out and look cleaner in my opinion, but the main thing is that the text is red. This obviously is a nitpick, but if you compare it to the 3rd anniversary with all the patterns that I've already showed you, this one really makes sense. It's very easy to fall into the idea that this is going to be something that is 100% going to be the case. So it pushes that idea that at least Super Saiyan 4 GOGETA is coming out, but it could also push the idea for corrupted ZAMASU, considering he was also a Legends Limited for the 3rd anniversary. The hints coming out are going crazy, but of course we're not done yet. This one I think is pretty good as well, tying into what I showed you prior. Now I believe this has been here for a long time, this story. I actually had to go to the Instagram to check myself. Look, DB Legends official Instagram, right? I went there myself. Supposedly it's been like this since LFG4 drops. It's been like this for years, and this could also be added to the fact that they also have Ultra Goku and Ultra Vegeta there, you know, so it's not something to be taken very heavily. But it's kind of just weird that he's still there in the middle of their Instagram post as a story. Let's even click it to see what it's showing. It's probably just the advertisement. Yeah, I was expecting it to just be the advertisement for what they usually show. You can see it has the white thing. They usually do these advertisements on Instagram. I'm not big on Instagram personally, but if you do use Instagram, then you'll know. You can see it's just the legendary finish, the Legend Limited G4 that we have. So I just wanted to point that out as a factor for this point. Somebody put in the replies, bit of evidence. I'm not saying go for this one as a piece of evidence that G4 is coming, but all of a sudden there's just a lot of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta going around everywhere, you know. So I wouldn't say this is ridiculous, but of course, if it's been here since Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta dropped, which was 3 years ago, it's been on their story like that for 3 years. They also only have Super Saiyan Goku and Ultra Vegeta, the two Ultras, the free-to-play Ultras on their story. It's like, it's kind of just like whatever, you know. You don't need to read into this one, even though it is something that we do obviously, or we are obviously talking about. Now this one here, coming off the topic of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, a lot of guys have been pushing the Super Saiyan 4 Goku idea. I've got evidence for him as well, don't worry, but this image here is quite convincing. If you guys don't remember, in the 5th anniversary they dropped Ultra Vegeta Blue, but literally in the festival before that they dropped Ultra Gogeta Blue. And if you look at it for opposites, this guy would be the opposite of this guy. But in my opinion, to look at a full opposite, I think it should have just been the actual transformation. So we have Gogeta Blue, but we should have got Ultra Super Gogeta, but we already have an Ultra Super Gogeta, so it wouldn't make sense that they did an Ultra Vegeta Blue. Now the thought here, the thought process is to have, since we had Ultra UI in the festival, he's going to tie into the anniversary Ultra, which would be Forku. Because obviously this is like the God form, a Super, but we also have GT going into Goku. Now you see here it's a transformation difference, whereas here it's literally just a character difference, and I think that's what makes it, in a sense, not believable. I'm not saying it's ridiculous, but if we clearly have only a character difference here, and here we have a transformation difference, it's not the same. It's not the same. It doesn't have the same correlation. Here there's two different characters. We've got Vegeta and Gogeta, and they're both blue at that. But here we have two Gokus. Yes, they do have two things that are in common, sharing between them. So it's like a pattern of they have something in common, and these guys have something in common. But it's a bit of a stretch. Whereas if it was like, if this was, let's say hypothetically, we never had an Ultra Super Gogeta, and for the anniversary they dropped Ultra Super Gogeta, it would make sense because we're going from a transformation here with his Gogeta and a transformation here where it's Gogeta. Here we have UI, and then I could actually see Forku, especially with all the GT stuff we've had all year. So this isn't ridiculous, but I think it's kind of like stretching that idea. A lot of people have been believing in the Forku because we got too many fusions, but I really think it's not ridiculous for them to drop another fusion. They really don't care, shown by the fact they dropped 2 fusion warriors for part 1 of this anniversary, when they drop a fusion warrior pretty much every year. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this one. But I think it's got a decent basis enough to bring up, but I'm not going for it personally. Now going into this one here, Dragon Fist Super Saiyan 4 Goku as the next Ultra that we'll be getting. I just spoke about it a little bit as a Super Saiyan 4 Goku option, but let's really look at the actual possibility for this. I don't think it's ridiculous, and a lot of people think it's not hype enough, but I think it definitely is. We've had Forku drop literally as the unit to bait us as super hype right before the anniversary before, because we do have the Legend Limited Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But in this case, it would be an Ultra, which is going to end off the anniversary. Now, the only thing I could say for why this is possible is the fact that we've been getting a lot of GT units, which I will show later. But you know we've been getting a lot of GT units, so the idea of it being a theme around GT makes a lot of sense. But I don't even feel that strong enough to really push for, because even last year they were buffing Universe Rep insanely, and then the end of the anniversary was an Ultra Vegeta Blue in the 5th year. They started with Universe Rep, but they didn't end with it, and part 2 has movies, so it wasn't even related, you know. So it's possible, especially because they already dropped 2 Fusion Warriors. A lot of people have the idea that they've already dropped 2 Fusion Warriors, they're not going to drop another one, so they should be Forku to add to the GT aspect, considering we haven't got one thing GT related this anniversary in terms of a new release. We did get the Omega Shenron Plat, which makes sense for this. We also got the Super Saiyan 3 Goku Zenkai, which makes sense for this. So it's really within reach, but for those same reasons, you could easily just think it's going to be Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and I think he already has more evidence stacking against him than this guy does, you know? I mean, for him, sorry. Gogeta has more evidence stacking for him than this guy does stacking for him. So it's kind of going against the idea of a 4Q, but I don't think it's ridiculous. And if you ask me if it's hype enough, I think it's hype enough. They've dropped a lot of questionable stuff in the anniversary before. Obviously, the viewer's perspective is different than the dev's perspective. They want to make money, I think, ultimately, but they do also listen to some degree. As Toshi has said, he's heard us when he spoke about Super Saiyan God Goku. So I don't feel like 4Q's a ridiculous drop, but am I one of the believers for it at the highest degree? I can't really stand behind it based on the evidence I've shown, but I don't think it's ridiculous. I think the main factor that would push towards Goku being a Ultra for the 6th anniversary would be the simple fact that they already dropped 2 Fusion Warriors and they don't want to drop a 3rd one to end it off. They would drop something different. We've got one Goku, besides from the fact that Gogeta and Vegeta fuse, you know. God Goku? Yeah, that's pretty much it for this anniversary, so I'm not against this, but the evidence isn't stacking in its favor, in my opinion. Now, this is a cool ass video from a Japanese Twitter page here from gon_kasu. You see here the page I'm already following. They said, I took it from the PV for Legends 4th anniversary. If Ultra Kiwami Utsumi is released, so I'm assuming it means Ultra Master Ultra Instinct, this is probably what it will look like when it first appears. Was this translation accurate? That's Twitter. Okay, so cool. I'm gonna show you the video and it looks insane. It's absolutely insane. Just look how good this looks. Low-key you have to mute, but just look at how insane this looks, man. Almost had me believing it was real. You know, the intro's a little long, of course. Ultra intros are not that long. Imagine starting a battle, you have to see all of this. They'll probably speed it up here. But it does look good, you know. It does look good, I'm not going to lie. Now, we spoke about they showed Ultra UI earlier, I believe. Where was it? I brought it up on one of the images. I think it was actually back here. I brought it up on one of the images, right? With the relation for 4Q. It would make more sense if they dropped a you see how they did the same form basically, but different characters. Here it's gonna be same characters but slightly different form. So, you know, it's gonna have UI Goku, but then it'll be MUI Goku. That's also a possibility. It's within reach. It's not ridiculous. Of course, it doesn't have the same amount of backing in comparison to Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, but I don't think it's ridiculous and it would sell. But the one thing about Ultra Instinct Gokus in this game, it would have leaked by now. Because there isn't a leak of UI Goku, MUI Goku, I think this has a 0% chance of happening. UI Goku would always leak. It's like a promotion tactic for them. Even for Sparking Zero, it leaked. Other games, Dragon Ball games, it leaks. I think with the exception of Rev Sign, because he's Super Saiyan Blue Goku first, UI will always leak in Dragon Ball Legends, in my opinion. So because I haven't seen a leak yet, I think the chances of MUI is just 0%. But I just wanted to show you this video because it's something that existed. You know, it was pretty cool. And when I first saw it, I thought it was almost real, you know, but it's not. But it's pretty cool, you have to say. Right, so this is going to be the last stretch of like pretty much GT. It's not going to be the last thing for the video, but the last stretch for GT. And from Bonku onwards here, it's all the releases we've had for GT alone. It doesn't include the Zenkai, so we had the G4 Zenkai as well. We have recently the Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku Zenkai. Did we have any other Zenkais? Did Omega? I think Omega Zenkai this year as well. We've had a few Zenkais, you know. And then we've had Bomku, Pan dropped, Bulla, Super 17, Super Baby 2, this Trunks, and the Omega Shenron Plat. That's pretty much everything GT related. And this anniversary, we haven't got one thing new that is GT related. So this obviously pushes the idea that we're going to be getting something related to GT for the anniversary finale. If we could especially compare it to last year, if I go to Universe Rep, I'm gonna have to type it in. Yeah, there we go. If we compare it to Universe Rep, right? We got a lot of Universe Rep stuff. Let's go backwards. Evo Ken, the Vegeta, the Gohan, Kiawe, Kasuro, Jiren, Gold Frieza, Master Roshi, Rev Sign, the Super Saiyan 2 Kepler dropped off, yes, and MVP 17. That's a lot of drops. Ultra UI, Ultra Hit. That's not even including any Zenkais that we got. Like, I believe Jiren got a Zenkai. They gave Ultra UI a plat. Like, they did a lot. They're not even including the EXs and stuff. And for all of that, for them to get, they got Gold Freezer, free 4 units for the anniversary in the 5th year. But this year, we've got all those GT units and no GT unit yet. Come on, dog. It's obviously going to be a GT unit of some way, shape, or form. Let's just believe it. Let's just believe it at that point. You're kind of like, all this evidence stacked is at least something GT related. That's what I think. Let's talk about Future as well. Future has been getting slow key buffs, and if we look at that, the most recent rerun, they did drop Rose back again. I believe they Zenkai'd the revival cell as well. They dropped the CMZ Zenkai, which is crazy. The PO buffs are going up and up and up, you know. Slash Future buffs, low key. Obviously, this is pushing for the Fusion ZAMASU Ultra unit, this segment here. It's not ridiculous to think about. Of course, with the relation of the 3rd anniversary to 6th anniversary pattern as well. I'm not against CMZ or Fusion ZAMASU dropping as an Ultra. Do I think it's going to be dropping? I'm kind of against the idea of 2 Ultras, so I'm not against this guy dropping. I don't think on his own he could be hype enough. He'd have to drop alongside something, which would be G4. So if he is dropping, then we're getting 2 Ultras. That's how I see it. He's not dropping on his own. No way in hell. That's what I think. But of course, they have been dropping a lot of Future stuff like Bus here and there, Sprinkle. They even gave this guy a plat, Trunks and Vegeta, you know? So it's not ridiculous to push towards a ZAMASU drop. I feel like I'm missing other things that happen for Future. Oh, VB plat. That VB plat as well. We're not going to brush over that. There's been a lot of Future stuff, man, sprinkling here and there. So it's not ridiculous for us to get a Future Fusion ZAMASU. Again, I'm not exactly for it, but if we do get it, I'm assuming we're getting 2 Ultras as well. Just putting that out there. Alright, so this is going to be the last segment of the video, and it's covering this Bulma. What does Bulma have to do with anything? They dropped this unit, they said it was very special. They even posted an image. They rarely do that, just to drop the Bulma. And we kind of just brushed it over, I guess. Event exclusive Dragon Ball Saga. It's not even the game originals Bulma. They're like, what's going on here, you know? Is this going to relate to something? Is she going to relate to something? Something going to relate to her? I don't know. But outside of this, we also have the 1000-Day Bulma, which is a game originals. You see the game originals tag there. I was going to go through all the game originals characters. So we got Bulma, we got Shallot the hero, all the versions here. And where's the tag? Game originals. Then if we go over here, we got the Sparking. If we look at all the transformations, you see the tag, where is it at? Game originals. We got the new Giblet over here who can go dark type. You can see the tag Game originals. Oh, you can't see it's there. I might have been blocking it the whole time. Game originals, my fat head, Game originals. Let's go to Saiyan in red, Game originals. And then we also got Bardock and Goku, the only Legend Limited. That is a Game originals. They have 2 elements. This unit does not exist in the franchise. It's fake. But of course, it's a very unique and custom unit. Game originals is very, very good. So, are they going to drop a Games originals? And if they do, what is it going to be? You know, Legends original unit. What is it going to be? The only thing I could really think of, and you might say this is glaze, and I wish they don't do this. They drop a Super Saiyan 4 Vegito and make him buff GT. You know, I would be against that idea because they already dropped one Vegito, because I don't want to spend money on another Vegito. But I think Vegito sells, full stop. So if they did that, I could see it. They brand it as Game Originals as well. But an Ultra Game Originals, just write it off. I don't think it's something they would do. Is it impossible? No. But the Game Originals banners do have a similar format to Ultras anyways. So that's a good way to wrap it up together. But if they did that, would it be a legendary finish? Are we going to get our first Ultra finish character? Ultra legendary finish character? I don't know. We really don't know. And I think that's what's techie about this situation. I don't have any Game Originals ideas. Besides maybe like, as an Ultra, I don't anyways. I'm thinking more legendary finishes. So it'd have to be like a new Ultra finish or something. But I'm not for that idea either, sorry. Beast on Orange Piccolo. But I don't think they've pushed towards the idea of movies either, so I don't know. I'm just bringing this up as a factor. Let me know what you guys' thoughts about it. I'm just putting the evidence on the table. Specifically with this Bulma. Like, what did it relate to? I don't know. Just to end out the video, I'm gonna give my opinion. What I think is most likely, I'm rooting for Super Saiyan 4 GOGETA. It just makes sense. All the GT buffs, the patterns with the start and the counterpart, first, fourth, second, fifth, third, sixth. If they drop a corrupted ZAMASU alongside with him or a fusion ZAMASU alongside with him, I'm not tripping. I'm fine with that. But I think it has to be a Super Saiyan 4 GOGETA. If not him, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But I don't feel like Super Saiyan 4 Goku has the same amount of hype pool that G4 does. Let's also point out the fact that, you know, the game developers, the Bandai developers, when it comes to Dragon Ball games, they always go overboard when pushing the G4 aesthetic in games. Because if you haven't seen, in the anime, he don't be doing the animations he do be doing in the games. So when it comes to the games, they go overboard, above and beyond, to make sure that he looks beautiful. So if they drop the G4, I'll be satisfied. I think most people will be satisfied. There'll be those guys that try to push the idea that, oh, we're tired of Fusion Warriors, and they have dropped 2 Fusion Warriors already. But let's be honest, Fusion Warriors run this game when it comes to hype. They've been dropping Fusion Warriors every single year without fail pretty much, and only recently at the festival did we get something different than a Fusion Warrior. We got Ultra UI. So you might just have to seal your fate if you're against the idea of G4. That's not me saying G4 is definitely coming, but it's someone I think is most likely to come. It's the safest bet to make, and if they drop a Fusion ZAMASU alongside him, double Ultra, 1 banner or maybe 2 banners, however they decide to do it, I think it just works, you know. I'm not gonna be very happy about 2 Ultras, but you pick your Ultra, you go along with your day. You know, you can get both if you want. You don't have to go for them, you know, just they're releasing banners. But of course, if one's better than the other, that's also a problem. But hey, I'm rambling at this point. I've made my conclusion, given my opinion. Obviously, I don't know who's coming, so let me know who you think is coming in the comment section below. But that's going to be the end of the video, man. Like I just said, let me know who you think is going to be coming in the comment section below. I got my bets on G4, secondary bet of Fusion ZAMASU alongside G4, if not 4Q. You know, I think those are just the safest options, and I'm sticking with them for good reason. But you guys have the willpower to pick your own. Appreciate you guys for watching the video, man. Press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 100,000 subscribers. My name's Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.